Meet the Packers here. Forget about the old Packers. This version does play completely different. Here's who they really are on both sides of the ball. So, offense, we got to start off with there, obviously. You would think that'd be the strength. That's been the strength of the Packers for the last 30 years, it feels like.
Then some.
Yeah.
35.
They're definitely mid, or as Brian Dable would say, 6'7". Oh, I did it.
Boo! Jay, where are you? Boo!
So, offensive rankings here, you got 23.7 points per game. That's 15th in the league. 349.3 yards per game. That's 12th. 47.79 third down conversion rate there. That's actually best in the NFL. So they do very well there. Red zone scoring, touchdown percentage, 63.89. That's 11th best in the league. So listen, it's a mid offense. And it really shouldn't be with the weapons it's got on there, with the head coach that's going on there. That's the crazy part. And what's weird is the play calling and the ratio overall. I mean, if you go to the passing, they really don't pass that often. They 54.05% of plays are passes. That's 23rd in the NFL. They are obsessed with the run.
Well, it's the first time in probably 35 years that they had a really good running back step into that place and allow them to diversify the ball.
Is he, though? I mean, they've had much better running backs in Green Bay's history.
Lacey? I'm not saying they had
it, but a year or two before he hit the Golden Corral pot roast burritos. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, listen, this pot roast burrito is delicious.
Amon Green was better.
I'm just saying, right now, what's going on, and it's not just Green Bay. A lot of teams around the NFL, especially that's had a legacy around them, they've been playing very conservative football, which means they don't allow good quarterbacks to throw the ball down deep. It's approved across the league where the run has stepped up more. We talked about how the run has taken a step back. They're afraid to let some of these guys run and throw the ball down the field. And with Love, look at his rookie year. You can see his first drive, if he's going to have a game where he's going to get you 3-4 touchdowns, 300 yards, no interception, or he's going to be the guy that gets you 200 yards maybe and an interception. So this year, he's kind of found himself in the middle of that, where he can be really good or really bad, and he's been kind of playing above average. So,
I feel like they're trying to eliminate his potential for damage, if that makes sense.
It is, but at the same time, they're eliminating his potential to excel.
Yes. That's a lack, and that's why, listen, guys, and I don't want to say that this is what's going to happen, but side note, there's rumors that Matt LaFleur may be gone at the end of the year because of him and Jordan Love not seeing. And if that's the case, that's not a bad, fit for us potentially as a new head coach. Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator, is also another guy we should be watching on this game as well. As again, a little side note on our coaching part there, because that's all going on as well. Hafley is actually a Jersey boy. He was asked about the potential to be the Giants head coach because people keep talking about it. Adam Schefter actually was on a show and said that a random owner, he wouldn't say who, but a random owner of an NFL team said, "Who are you thinking for the Giants head coach?" And he was kind of playing coy about it. And then he's like, Jeff Hafley might be an interesting idea because the defense is running very well. He's from New Jersey. And he said, the owner said point blank, "I was very glad to hear you say that because this is exactly who I thought would be a perfect fit for this team." So 2 guys to keep an eye out coaching-wise that are going to be on the Packers sidelines and MetLife that may be on the opposite sidelines next year potentially there. We'll see how things go. But there's big standards in Green Bay. Let's be honest.
Well, they've had a long tenure of getting to the playoffs.
Yes. So if they don't get in, things happen. Here's where they're at as far as their passing side, though. So 68.88 completion percentage, 8th best in the league, 7.9 yards per pass, which is 6th best in the league there. Interception thrown percentage, 1.05% of passes become picks. That's 5th best. QB sacked on 4.67% of passing plays, 7th best. So on paper, really efficient. But again, as we said, there's this kind of disconnect and protection there, sort of speak to Love, to protect Love against Love.
Yeah.
So
Conservative football.
Exactly what they're playing. Jordan Love on the year, 68.9 completion percentage, 2,247 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Now, one thing to keep an eye on is we said that they like to go ahead and run the ball a lot. Jordan Love actually has the 3rd highest passer rating on play action since week 4. So
yeah, because you have to respect the run.
Because you have to, because they run so often. As far as their weapons, Tucker Kraft, as we said earlier, he's going to be out for the game. He's on the IR. He's their top weapon. So we're kind of coming in at a good time for the Packers. Torn ACL, he's out for the year. 32 catches, 489 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Really good year for him, especially considering, basically only played about half a season. That's
young guy. He played good last year, and he was just improving. But
he's gotten better and better. So, wide receiver Romeo Doubs, 35 catches, 446 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, the crazy thing is between the two of those guys, that's 10 of the 13 touchdowns that have been thrown by Jordan Love this year. That's a lot of percentage out of 2 guys with 1 guy out. So
it's a lot of love over there.
When there's a end zone time, we're in the red zone, and they're going to throw it up into the end zone there, guys. Romeo Doubs, that's who to keep an eye on, because it's pretty obvious that they're going to try to probably force it to him even more because of Kraft being out.
So put Banks on.
Oh yeah, clearly put Banks on. That'll be great.
See myself out. I'll see myself out.
Matthew Golden, the receiver, we talked about him earlier as the rookie, first-round pick, 23 catches, 262 yards, again, questionable for the game. Josh Jacobs, 28 catches, 237 yards in the running back position. Christian Watson, only 3 games played so far. 8 catches, 188 yards. He's the big play guy. That's what he is. Detavian Wicks, 17 catches, 172 yards. Again, questionable for the game, both these guys. So a lot of their weapons are questionable or out in the case of Kraft. So definitely it's going to be something to keep an eye on as the week progresses to see how the injury report's going to go for that, because that's going to determine a lot of how their offense runs, quite frankly.
Yeah. And Watson, he's been the guy that's been in and out, and he's kind of their deep threat receiver. So it should be interesting. So if he's out, you kind of know. I said, good day.
Good day, Holmes.
Yeah.
Here's our rushing stats here. This is why I said point blank, it's weird the way that they're doing stuff here. 3.8 yards per rush. That's 26th best in the league. 111.9 rushing yards per game. That's 20th in the league. But again, we said where did I put the number here? Let's see. It was 23rd in the league on the least amount of passes. That just seemed weird. Like, you're rushing the ball top 10 in the league, basically, as far as percentage. So 45.95% of your plays are rushes, 10th in the league. 28.3 rushes per game, 8th in the league. So you're so committed to the run. You're top 10 in those fields. Yet you're 20th and under. Like, when you're top 10 in rushes per game, and you're 20th in rushing yards, and 26th in yards per carry, that's an issue.
Yeah, it's not like they've had dominating leads where they could just let off the gas and just run the ball, and that's why.
Yep.
Because they've played some close games.
They really have.
And like the Commanders, they beat by just shy of 10 points. So yeah, you can run the ball there, but to go play the Browns, they lose. They weren't trying to run the ball to make up the time. Cowboys tie, 40 points on the board. It was a back and forth. That's probably one of the best games Love had this year.
Yeah.
Cardinals, you barely win. You're barely ahead of. You probably ran a lot against the Bengals just because they had no one. It wasn't like Flacco. Oh, Flacco was there, but it wasn't like he. Yeah, I think it was Flacco's first game.
Yeah. So I mean but this is just what they're kind of dealing with on offense there. I say Lacy. I'm gonna say Eddie Lacy. We're talking about him before. Josh Jacobs. He looks like a slightly more svelte version of Eddie Lacy. 162 yards, 608 yards overall in the season. 3.8 yards per carry. That's bad. I'm sorry, but that's like you're almost missing a yard over what you should be. Like imagine you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna make running your main thing. I'm gonna be top 10 in how many times I run the ball. And my running back's gonna average what people used to average 35 years ago.
I mean, he's on pace to put like 1,200 yards on the day, on the
3.8
year,
yards per carry.
100%, and that's
Volume, though.
because, well, when you're trying to stuff the ball down everyone's face, you kind of know what's going on. So he breaks down for a little bit, and he gets 1 yard, 2 yards, negative yards, 9 yards, 1 yard, 3 yards, and it just kills his average because all they're doing is trying to run it. It's easy to defend against that.
I'm going to go into with the actual numbers here as far as this. So he is 4th in the league with the most carries. Okay. Number 3, James Cook. And we just said 608 yards, 162 carries. Cook has only 4 more carries. How many yards do you think he has?
Oh, 7, right?
920.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, Christian McCaffrey. Now you can have the conversation because he's having an off year as well. We've said he's overused so much that they're just stacking the box against him. 180.
Still.
No, I'm saying point blank. That's why I'm giving equal to Christian McCaffrey. The difference is McCaffrey's a much better receiver, obviously. But 180 carries, 626 yards. So he's actually even worse. So, 189 yards for 189 carries for Jonathan Taylor, 1,139 yards. Now you can give him as an exception; he's having a career year. Let's be very frank about that. But let's go to right beneath him. J.K. Dobbins, 153 carries, so 9 less carries, 772 yards. So I'm saying he's having a year where he's just stuffing the ballots, so to speak, there and just rushing. And I feel like it's just a weird mix to do on the offense right now. And that just highlights to me the disconnect with Love right now and LaFleur. And that's why these rumors are starting to trickle here that it might be time to separate those two. And you have one in a contract for $50 million a year. Which one do you think you're getting rid of?
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, like that's just 100% what it is. But let's see here. So other running backs, sorry. Emmanuel Wilson, 42 carries, 180 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, so a good half a yard additional. Jordan Love, 31 carries for 138 yards. That's 44 and a half yards a carry. So again, they're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball. And guess what? We have trouble stopping when teams run the ball. When teams run the ball. So I'm doing all this trash talking about Josh Jacobs, which isn't really trash talking. I'm just giving honest feedback on what I see here. He's going to have a great day. Our linebackers are all banged up. We're out a couple of defensive linemen. We've had trouble stopping the run all year long. I fully expect Josh Jacobs to have the best game of his entire career, and he'll probably be up to, let's see, 608 right now. He'll probably have about 750 by the time the game's over.
I don't think so.
I'm going to go that far into it. That's how bad our run defense. Again, keep in mind, Okereke out probably. Nacho probably out. You're going to have Flanagan Fowles probably out. Like we're going to be Demuasau and whoever the hell is left standing at that point, a linebacker.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I don't think this game is a blood as a lot of people think.
I don't think a
We'll get that
blowout.
one later.
I'm saying he's going to have a great game. Is what I'm saying. I think the tougher time will be had by Love. I really do. That's what
Yeah.
I think. We'll see. Let's get to the defense. So the defense is really the strong suit of this Packers team here. 19.6 points per game they give up. That's 7th best in the league. 287.2 yards, 5th best. 35.83 third down percentage, that's 10th best. 60.87 red zone scoring touchdown percentage, 18th. That's the only one of the stats that's not impressive. It's still average. Like that's pretty goddamn good defense here. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying watch out for Jeff Hafley, because more and more you're hearing his name pop up as potential in the Giants head coach search here. Now Green Bay also leads the NFL in first down EPA, meaning they are forcing long second downs, long third downs, and that's something to keep an eye out because again, we don't know what's going to happen with Jameis Winston, Mike Kafka play calling, and not having people in his ear that are threatening to take his job away. We'll find out what's going on, but that's bad to be set up in the bad spot in first down. And you got to wonder, part of it is because, and we'll get to their specific stats, run pass in a minute here, they're really good at stopping the run. And when you're really good at stopping the run, what a team a lot of times do more often than a first, they do second, third down, run the ball. The highest percentage of all the plays. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to kind of keep an eye on, because Tracy and Singletary are gonna have their, they're gonna have a big test out for them there, and hopefully Turbo Miller too, but I doubt it. Well, I'm just hoping somehow the Turbo.
It's Turbo time, baby.
So against the pass here, they are 65.94 completion percentage they give up. It's 18th best. 195.4 yards per game. It's 11th best. Here's where they excel: 5.9 yards per pass. That is first in the league. What they have a very much on the passing side of their defense, a bend but don't break. That's what it is. They're going to stop you at that point on first down when you're trying to run the ball. They're going to put you in long second and third downs, and they're going to let you take the little dink and dunk passes, and they're going to make sure you don't get that first down. That's what they do.
Pretty much.
And that's why you see that 5.9 yard. Again, Rob, you obviously you watch a lot more Packers games than I do, being that you're kind of forced to there thanks to Kelsey. So feel free to interject if you disagree with anything, because you watch them all.
I don't watch them all, but yeah, a lot of it is they'll let up like a 8-yard play, but then you try to run the ball and they just stuff you.
Yeah,
and that's just how they've operated all year. But once you start letting up bigger plays down the field, like the Joe Flacco, he was starting to look good down there. Joe Bixett, once you start going for the deeper passes, which a lot of teams have not been because they've been playing conservative football, they start playing the bigger plays.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of seem to center on that first down area from with the film I was watching on them. Like they're not going to let you get that first down, but sometimes you can get past that first down by throwing it deep, or you can throw the short, shallow route, and then just kind of hope to go ahead and get some, some yak yards there at that point to get that first. But they're sure tacklers. They're very good, very well coached, and that's not something that usually is going to happen. So I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to see some negative 2-yard passes to Wan'Dale Robinson, basically, because that's what's going to be open.
I think that's got that's. I think that was a Dable play.
I'm hoping.
And
that's the fun part. It's week one all over again. You have no clue what to expect. New quarterback, new play, new head coach, new unleashed play caller. I'll say, because he's not having to do what Dable wants him to do.
The OC, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, there's an OC technically. I mean, Tim Kelly's the OC now.
That's what I'm trying to say coming into this game. There's not a lot of tape of how this team's going to look like. Yeah. There's an idea, but not a lot of tape.
Yeah.
And everyone fighting for a job.
And I do think a lot of teams also, when they've tried to play the Packers from what I've seen, and the numbers definitely back it up. They kind of seem to abandon the run quickly for some reason. Again, like you said, they played a lot of close games. I'm not sure quite why. They're literally trying to pass on 61.4% of passing plays on them. That's sixth highest in the league. They're just abandoning the run. And I get it. They're very good at stopping the run, but you can't abandon the run because then you lose play action. Then you lose the element of surprise there. Like they're just all ready to go. Next one. You're letting Micah Parsons and Rashan Gary go ahead and just pin their ears back and go right for the quarterback. You can't do that.
No. But it seems like if you do a lot of set up play actions, very big against this team, but they're going to stop and run the first down. But if you sit there and possibly do like a little play action and actually throw it to the running back, you got a good receiving running back, let him run up for 4 yards, it changes how that defense sets up.
Yeah.
And it's not that much, but it sits there where they get confused themselves. Are we running the ball or are we throwing the ball?
You got to do it. You can't abandon it. You cannot abandon it. Defensive ranks against the run, 3.8 yards per carry, sixth best. 91.8 rushing yards given up per game, sixth best as well. So they're a top 10 run stopping defense, guys, point blank. Top defenders. Quay Walker is their leading tackler, 77 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and 4 passes deflected. Edgerrin Cooper, their other linebacker, 68 tackles, half a sack, 1 tackle for loss, 3 passes deflected, and 2 forced fumbles. Xavier McKinney, we got the comeback for McKinney here. It's a lot of homecoming there for him. There are 59 tackles, 1 sack, 4 passes deflected, 2 interceptions, so much lower than they were last year. But he literally has 2 of the 3 team interceptions the Packers have. So he's still their leading, go-getter, so to speak. 1 forced fumble. Rashan Gary, 31 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble there. So he's actually their leading sack guy, not Micah Parsons, but having him with Micah Parsons has allowed him to get freed up a little more, obviously, too. So
big time.
It's that trickle down effect. Micah on the year, 22 tackles, 6.5 sacks, and 7 tackles for loss. No other player on their team has more than 2 sacks. So if you want to stop the pass rush, little column A, a little column B, and that's all you got to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I say
no
that
column C.
I think, especially with Jameis, because we all know what Jameis is. We know Jameis has the tendency to forget what jersey he plays for. You just might want to go ahead and leave a running back on one side, leave a tight end on the side at that point there.
I would love to see a whole bunch of 13-man setup.
Because I'm telling you right there, you do that kind of setup, and next thing you know, you give Jameis Winston time. There's one thing, that guy will chuck it. He has no fear of chucking it whatsoever. Probably should have more fear than he has. So
track record says yes. But you also get a 13-man setup. Then you get for Tony out there, you get yourself Bellinger out there, and then you have Matt Hurts in there blocking a little bit more, give that guy more time. Allows the receivers to open up down the field, and it also allows some of these tight ends to get out there. So
yeah, and that's why I said I'm curious to see what happens. I really am. Let's see, we got a couple comments here on this game coming up here. Let's see here. Of course, you got Kelsey being upset that I'm talking trash about the Packers, but I'm not. I'm just calling like it is. I'm saying the truth. It is what it is. Yell at him, not me.
It's the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Jay says, damn true, that shirt hits hard for you and Dave's right now. Wow. Says, I'm very good at doing absolutely nothing. Listen, I got till Monday. Monday's when I start my new job. So therefore, next couple of days, I'm enjoying the last few days of unemployment and my relaxing days. And it's been nice. It's been nice. So I'm a little crazy because I like to do things and I need things to do, but it's nice. Let's see. Jay says Green Bay plays down to their competition. Yes, they do. 100% they do. As we lost Rob. He sneezed himself off the screen. You there, Rob? He did. He sneezed himself right off the screen there. But yeah, this is literally a team that has lost to the Browns. the Browns. Like that's insanity. So, played close to the Cardinals, tied with the Cowboys, lost to the Panthers, which Panthers are better this year than they've been other years, but it just sounds bad because they've been bad for how long? I mean, it's just that's what this team is. So now at the same point, they beat the Lions, so they've got some there. They beat the Steelers, who just put a whooping a couple weeks ago on the Colts. They barely lost to the Eagles, which we know. Listen, we don't like to say it on the show, but we have to kind of be honest about it. The Eagles are a damn good team. So, their record has been weird. They just played down to these bad teams. And guess what, guys? We are technically a new a bad team there. So it is what it is there. They're gonna play down to us probably. Jay with the 499 super chat there. Appreciate it, man. He says, congrats on the new tire shop job. Seriously, that is fantastic. Yeah, it's been in the works for a couple weeks there. I've literally like I said, I'm blessed, and I mean this seriously. I'm not trying to be facetious or joking around. I'm blessed that I have a lot of people I know in my industry that are just great people. And the second they heard that I was out of a job, they're like, we got you. So I've just been waiting for the last 2 weeks for everything to come back, basically for the background check and medical, physical, and all that stuff they do for this company. So, and you'll be glad to know it actually is a tire shop this time, because I can tell you it wasn't a tire shop last time. Oh, we got Rob is back. He unsneezed himself.
I seized myself.
So, but yeah, it was actually. I can tell you now because I'm not even in the place anymore. So, but it was an auto glass instead of a tire shop. But yes, now I am going to a tire shop again. So you'll be able to make fun of me all you want now, Jay. It'll make more sense.
Shane Gillis over here.
Jason, it would be super interesting if the Giants played a clean game, no dumb penalties or mental mistakes under Kafka. Yes, I'm very curious to see what this team does in general, because Kafka doesn't strike me as this guy that's going to go like ballistic like Dable did. And that's
he's very stoic.
Yeah, he's not going to be as emotionally driven, which is good. I really do think that's good, especially because they always say, and they don't necessarily say about the emotional part of it, but they always say, like, oh, you had a disciplinarian, now you need to go to a player's coach. Oh, you had a player's coach, now you need to go to disciplinarian. I feel like this also is there. Like, this is going to be a breath of fresh air for the players probably too. Like, imagine, like, you're probably afraid to go talk to the coach in the middle of the game because he's flipping out and like having a conniption fit there.
Yeah, because you said player's coach and disciplinary coach, and you kind of had both in Dable. You just didn't know which demon you were walking into.
Yeah.
And you just saw like Sunday, like when we were playing, or sometimes Thursday night football or Monday night football, but you don't know what it was like Wednesday morning.
Was it Jekyll or was it Hyde?
Yeah. And I'm sure we've all worked for a boss like that. It's a very unsettling workplace.
Yeah, it really is. So, as J Soul says, conservative equals unethical football. Yes, you play to win. You don't play to not lose. That's been the Giants' problem the whole entire season. Jay says, Rob with the 4D chess. Nice. And then Revenge talking about McKinney there. Yes, it is. Jay Soul says, Kurt Warner said Jameis makes better reads and throws than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
He just doesn't put those together.
You know what it is? I think he does read well. I think he does throw well. But I think the problem is that he's it's like a gambler that can't help themselves. You know what I mean? Like he just throws spot and just can't help himself. He's like, it's there. And sometimes when you're a gambler, you see things that aren't there. Like, okay, I see this card here. I can do this. I can put this money down. Like, that's what I feel like was with him, And it's just unfortunate because I think if he was able to stop that one thing, which he did in New Orleans, I think he could have been a damn good quarterback in this league. And
he definitely
we were calling for him to be on the team last year to start over Daniel Jones. So yeah, we're on his side. We may joke around about the exceptions, but
I'm not necessarily saying to start over the DJ, but he was the only legit person we could have got last year that would have challenged DJ, and the only guy that we could have got for a fair amount to actually, I would like to start over him if that was the case, if he was beaten out. Winston, like you just said, when he played for the Saints, they played a little more conservative for him, and they eliminate that gambler's aspect, right? The over the 25-yard throws. You're not going to do that every 3 downs, which is something that he used to love to do with the Buccaneers. But
I mean,
he also threw
30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions his last year as a starter in Tampa.
Yeah, pretty sure he had the one game where it's like 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, but he had 4 interceptions. Like,
I'll tell you guys, it's going to be
absurd.
An eventful game to watch. I don't know, good or bad, we'll find out, but it's going to be an eventful game to watch. I think that's safe to say.
Yes.
So, as Jason's Xavier Kinney seeking revenge. I mean, listen, if Wink was there, especially, he would have. That's for sure. I don't know if he's got revenge anymore for anybody but Joe Shane. Basically, at this point, like that's who his only beef was, who's left. Because keep in mind, McKinney literally called Joe Shane. Well, his agent did, not McKinney himself, I'm sure, but they called Joe Shane and said point blank, "This was the offer we got. Would you match it?" He wanted to be a Giant, guys. Of all the talks we've had of people that want to leave here, McKinney did not want to leave here.
He was definitely a leader of that defense, and
he was a locker room issue. He was.
Towards the end, he definitely was.
Posting crap on Twitter, getting into arguments with Wink. He was, he had the ATV incident at that point there. And I don't think he's necessarily a bad person. It's just sometimes we forget these kids in their early 20s to mid 20s.
He's got a Green Bay, and he's never had an issue. So maybe that beef, the locker room issue was warranted.
Or maybe it was just, the lack of coaching and having a handle on things. Because I thought that, honestly, it's like for a guy who flipped out so much of the sidelines, I felt like Dable never had control of the team.
He definitely had control of the team. He had the team buy into what he was selling.
Yes, but they wouldn't listen to him when he said specific. Like it didn't take on that professional atmosphere. I feel like the inmates were running the asylum to a certain degree.
Season 2, you can say that. The first year, I wouldn't agree because
yes,
Galladay got sat. They Slayton wasn't starting, and those are guys that were getting paid. So,
but it goes back into what I said before. When things were going well, he was good. The second things started going bad, he imploded.
We're talking about beginning of the year.
Week 1. You're saying 22, everything was good. I said, yeah, because of that.
But I'm saying also 22 is when he sat with a healthy scratch to Galladay, or not scratch, but he had like one. He had one play against the Titans. He had Slayton had didn't even play. He was suited up. But if you didn't think you were going to play, he was more disciplinary, but he just kind of let it all go. Let it go. Let it go. Get yourself fired. Let it go.
Pat Dable was the better Dable.
Yeah. Jay
says, but so is Van Roten, though. Jay Soul says that shirt does go hard. LOL. Jay says, Jay Soul or Jossol. I don't know which one is it. Jossol, Jay Soul. I feel bad if I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Let me know which one it is, man. It says, dang, sneeze of death. LOL. That was funny. You just timed that. But did you unplug something when you sneezed? What happened?
I started coughing, but I had to pee and I was about to hit it out. That's what it was.
You just said, yes, I sneezed and something unplugged instead of the TMI here. Oh my gosh.
It happens.
Jason's good people land their feet. Hashtag respect. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, I'm just blessed to know people that luckily were able to hook me up. And like I said, I don't even say this to brag. I just made to show the respect to the people that have shown me respect. I literally had 3 job offers within a day or two. So that's in different places. So that's pretty damn good. I'll take it. Deb says, I used to hate watching Cower. He used to go spastic on the sideline and he spit while doing so. Oh my God. That man was like a sprinkler system going off when he got mad. It was insanity.
You ever see a big old lip dog just drilling for a bone?
Yeah. And Jason's, yep, he was gnarly. But yeah, like I said, it's absolutely craziness there. All right, let's go into our last segment here. So fair warning, guys, we are going to skip the picks tonight, much to Rob's chagrin.
So upset a little bit.
He
we might have
was.
to post we might have to post it this way we have our picks out there.
You know what we could do? Maybe we'll
put it on the Facebook. Let's take a screenshot.
We'll put it on the social media pages. I'll make a little graphic tomorrow and we'll put it up on there. That way it's up there. So but yeah, it's just with everything going on with Dable getting fired and all the things going on with roster moves and all, it's been too much.
Drew not working.
A little over an hour already, and we still got another segment to go, and just we're trying to avoid keeping you all for 2-3 hours, basically. Because we do this. It's like 40 minutes at least for us to go over the picks.
Yeah, big time.
So yeah, like I said,
we'll big meeting in the morning.
We'll put it up on social media tomorrow at some point there during the day. So, but yeah, it's just Jake with the tire shop as a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, I used to work at a tire shop. Ironically enough, I'm going back to my old place I used to work at because they want to be back. So, but yeah, it's yeah. And that's why I used to chuckle when you said that, because I'm like, I used to work at one, but I didn't anymore. I do again. You put me back there, Jay. It's all your fault.
You wish it.
You called my old boss that eliminated his job so we can go back.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.